to another Tips Quick video. Today we're looking at Dust 2 demo review sent in by Jamie, who said for context that he didn't think he played very well, and it's quite a low elo game, so we'll see what we can learn and how to improve. Jamie's bought 5.7 pistol, which I'm not a massive fan of, and taking along with the teammate is good. So that's good that you're going with your teammate. That's positive. Negative would be that you're buying a 5.7 on pistol. So generally on pistol round, we want to always make sure that we're buying Kevlar. The reason being is of a mechanic called aim punch, which means in a fight, if the T hits you anywhere on the body, if you don't have Kevlar, you're then immediately inaccurate for every shot that you take. So you're at a massive disadvantage on any fight that the T could give you if the T has armor, which they do, and you don't have armor, which you don't because you bought a 5.7. If you want to play with an upgraded pistol, you kind of need someone to drop it to you. So maybe, for example, a CT might buy a smoke for a setup or a flash for a certain play, and then they have the money to buy a 5.7 and you can play 5.7 and armor. But playing a 5.7 without armor is not great on pistol, especially because the USP is super strong. And also remember the angle you're taking. You're taking a very long range angle. It's a very open angle. The T is very easy for them to just hit you once on the body and you're completely inaccurate. So a bit of an economic mistake. The second thing is that you want to be trying to make your pathing as efficient as possible when coming to long. So you want to get to this fight as quickly as possible. So you don't want to be like walking out here. Instead, you want to be walking like to here and immediately getting as fast as possible, so you can meet the T as they're about to come out, as opposed to meeting the T when they're already out and could be at multitude of angles. However, you did go with your teammate, which is good. Okay, and they went B, so you weren't even tested. Also, not a massive fan of FAMAS on second round, because second round, if you win the pistol, the enemy team is on a weak buy, right? They have, okay, so this guy has Mac 10, these guys have pistols. So if you have an SMG, you can farm money. So if you didn't know, SMGs and shotguns have increased kill reward. What that means is if you get kills with them, you make more money than if you get kills with a FAMAS. And a FAMAS is specifically in CS2 particularly shit. So I'd much rather you see on second round, if you win the first round, buy like an SMG of your choice. It can be a UMP if you want. Would have been a better choice. But you picked a long range angle, so you've at least picked a good angle with this fight. I think your crosshair's a tiny bit low, but that's okay. And you're also playing solo long. I think at the end I'll probably discuss like positioning a bit, and that should massively help you, because I'm sure your teammates don't really know how to play long either. And you don't see any action at all. Okay. So, would be better to go with your teammate here, but that's okay. So when we play a position, we always want to be with someone, right? We don't want to be like solo. So it would have been better to come with green, or you could have gone with yellow up short, rather than, because in the middle you can't help either person, and you can't also, you're not watching anything because you're not with anyone. So you want to make sure you're behind someone. Your teammate Longstead. Okay, so I guess you're going to have a fight here. Okay. Alrighty, well, spray could have been a little better, but it was good that you were stationary when shooting. That's a good improvement. I will say probably the thing that you kind of got split, so it wasn't necessarily your fault. But you're also picking an angle where there's no fallback, right? For example, if you're on site and you had short control, if you take this fight, you can then leave the fight. Whereas playing this angle, you're committed to the fight. The T can see that you're there, shoot you, hide, wait for his teammates to come and kill you. But you lost short control. So not necessarily your fault. Also, your shooting style was an improvement as to what I've seen before, so that's good. Just a bit of a unfortunate you lost short control and long control, and you were in an angle where you couldn't get out once you commit to the fight. Okay, so you're playing car solo again. Positions on long could be better, but we'll discuss that at the end, and I'm sure that will be massively helpful to you. Teammate short is dead. So you're playing like a committed angle again. Okay, there's good crosshair adjustment to kill the first guy, and you're traded. It is good that you're stationary when shooting though, so that's an improvement. Eco rush. Okay. You have 2,250, so you could have bought a P250 if you wanted to. If you're on an eco, you can buy down to 1.9k. So if you have more than 1.9k, you have 2,250. You could buy a P250. I doubt it would have made much of a difference this round, but just something to bear in mind. But I like the strat on eco to push mid. Okay, this round you're going with green, so this is much better. Playing with green as opposed to like being here in the middle of nowhere. Going with your teammate, that's great. Teammate looks like he wants to push, so he's gonna push. Okay. And you're going with him, which is good. No, you're going back. Bombs drop B tunnels. Oh, we get a kill here. Okay, good kill. Just try to be stationary when you start shooting so that you're accurate. Okay, this guy died. Playing car again. Car's okay. It's a bit of a one and done angle, I would say, meaning you most often get a kill here and then that's all you get because you quite often get traded. It can be pretty good if you have a teammate up short that can like take this crossfire with you. But I'll cover angles on CT side at the end, and that should be the most helpful thing in this video. Okay, it's very good that you're stationary when you take this kill. And then this guy trades you. And there wasn't really a need to peek him, because you could have just sort of, like, if you were just sort of waiting here, that means this guy has to, like, peek, and then your teammate could possibly help you. However, as I said, the first kill, the fact that you're no longer, well, firstly holding down crouch, but you're also stationary when taking these fights, is a really great improvement. So good job working on that, because it's much better than I saw in the previous demo reviews. So two of your teammates are going long. You can go with them, you can take long as a free, but you're going to go look short, which is fine. Teammates are both dead. This guy's in pit. Again, so the problem with this angle, as we discussed earlier, is that once you're seen here, right, once this guy knows you're here, and it's the same principle whether it's long or pit, once he knows you're here, you can't move, right? Because you're stuck, basically. There's no way you can retreat to. Yes, I guess you could, like, you could go hold S key and go backwards, but by the time that you're, like, here, he's just going to re-peek and kill you, and you're going to be moving, so you're even more in trouble. So this specific angle is not great, just because you can't retreat from it. And these angles are great, right? Because they can peek, see you, and retreat. This guy can peek, see you, take a shot, retreat, holding S into the pit. So they have much better angles than you. So it's not your aim that's the problem here. It's the fact that you've picked like a bit of a shit angle and you're punished for it. That's okay. Once you know that, you know not to take that fight for long. Okay, back on car. I am not necessarily sure being on car is a great idea. And you're moving when shooting there, so you had no chance. Okay, CT's trade. 6-3. And throw 1S. Someone's dropped this for you, I've seen. Okay. Okay, great shot selection. That's very good. Oh, that's a really nice shot. Well done. A third guy. Probably want to move after the second kill, right? Because they're going to come where you are, but... Oh, and he has an AWP, so you definitely want to move now, because he has a massive advantage. He has a sniper, you have a rifle. So you don't want to be taking this fight. But you stick around anyway. Okay, that's a little bit of discipline on just getting away from the fight would have been good. However, the double kill was really good. on long. You pretty much won the CTs this round, so that's great. And the really cool thing about this double kill was you were stationary, and you were not spraying. You were taking your time, good shot selection, and very good aim on the second guy. That is super encouraging, especially because, as I said, the previous demo reviews, biggest problem for you was in fights you were just holding down crouch, and also holding down spray. So the fact that you already have much better shot selection is really good. If you keep practicing that, as you can see, you can win your rounds, your team rounds. So that was really good. Very good round. Also, success with the A1S. It's kind of the same thing with Alex. I feel like A1S, because it's a bit easier to control the spray, kind of makes me want to recommend it more than the A4. But either can work. And you have nothing to do this round. Okay, so you're playing long. And your teammate's playing things. So this setup is okay because your teammate's in a position. You're playing long together, if that makes sense. You've got two eyes on long. You never want to have one person long and one person short. You always want to have like the majority set up watching one thing or the other. Because you see your teammate is solo short and he has to fight 4 people. I'll cover this at the end of the video and it'll be the most useful part. But you can see when you're alone in CS and you have no one with you, you're a massive disadvantage on CT side because the Ts can run at you with like 4 people. I think you're about to die though because yellow cannot see this long guy. Yeah. So they thread the needle and crush the setup. That's okay. Okay, so CT side. My thoughts on CT side were positioning was a bit clueless, but that's okay because we can quite easily fix it. However, shot selection was way better. Dueling was way better. Super encouraging. Didn't see really any crouch spamming. I think you crouched here, but that's fine because obviously you're behind this block, so it's covering you. So that's an actual correct use of crouch. So that was really good. And the other smaller thing would probably be economic management. I hope you buy Kevlar on pistol. I don't like you buying pistol, just an upgraded pistol without armor. And also, just don't buy the FAMAS. As a general rule, I would actually apply that to everyone. I would say just no one should be buying the FAMAS. Just buy an SMG if you can't afford an M404, because the FAMAS in CS2 is total shit. Sorry, Max, but it's true. Okay, so you are buying an upgraded pistol. So remember, you are completely inaccurate if the CT hits you even once. And you are also moving while shooting, which is not the best. You can run and gun with the Tech 9, not so much the P250. You'll get punished with the P250. Okay, second round, okay. It's a bit risky, but you're going to entry on B. You're moving while shooting, which is not the best. This guy tags you with scouts, you're low HP. I'm hoping you don't peek here. Okay, City's coming tunnel. Okay, you get a good kill here, however. Okay, and you win the round. Okay. Okay, so T side, I'm now seeing that you are moving and shooting. So CT side, huge improvement with moving and shooting. T side, it's like you're not, because you're entering, meaning you're going first, you're sort of doing the correct thing in the sense that you're taking space. However, the problem with taking space in the way you're doing it is you're inaccurate the entire time you're moving. Second round, I would also much prefer you buy like a Max 10, because that way you could run and gun, right? You can just run out here like crazy with your Max 10. With an AK, you need to actually be stopping when you take these fights, if that makes sense. Because otherwise you're completely inaccurate. You could even wait for your teammates. I think one of them did have a Max 10. So that's a small point on this round. I'm a little concerned that on T side you started just running and gunning again. But maybe your concentration, I mean, it's like halfway into the game, so maybe it's something that you're still working on. But CT side it was much better. So far on T side it's all of a sudden you're running and gunning again, which is not great. The other thing is also remember that B site on Dust 2 and many other sites are really difficult to retake. So once you have the site and you have the bomb down, there's no reason to be peeking into the CTs. Imagine I'm a CT. What's easier for me? A T that walks here and into this narrow choke point and I can fight, or I have to walk into this choke point and he could be anywhere on the site. Similarly, if I'm a CT, what's easier? The guy that peeks me here, or I have to walk here and then he could be anywhere on the site. The CT on tunnel, what's easier? You peek out here and into my crosshair, or I have to come out tunnel and you could be anywhere on the site. So if you have man advantage and you have the bomb down, try not to peek, try to be a bit more defensive. Okay, you're moving and shooting again. So that's something that you could work on. Oh, and you slightly jiggled the bomb out of your hands there. Okay, so here, when you get into this position, you're stationary and you take the fight, and your aim is fine, right? So this is good. You just need to be doing this, not the crouching part obviously, but crouching here with these sandbags is totally fine. But you just need to practice having that, oh, I see someone, I'm going to be stationary, and then I'm going to shoot. That's like the first stage before we get onto counter-strafing and stuff. That's something that you should specifically work on, and you'll have a lot more success. Oops. It could definitely be more difficult on T-side because you have to be a lot more, you have to maneuver a lot more. Okay, this is better. Okay, see, you can do it. You got it there. This is great. I mean, obviously you can do it, but it's great that you've definitely improved in this area a lot. It just got a little bit less in the first 2 rounds. For some reason, you almost like forgot for a couple of rounds, but you're back in the game and you're remembering again. And even there, like, yeah, you lost the fight, but you were stationary when you committed to this fight, so that's great. That's a huge improvement to what we saw on the previous reviews. And then final rounds. And then this guy just trades you, and that seems like it's GG. Alrighty, so T-side. T-side, yeah, the running gunning was the first and second round. For some reason, you just forgot. Not sure why, but then you got it back. You got it back again. Snapped back into place. Focused again. Started being stationary with shooting. So that's great. That's improving a lot. Also, another important thing is, remember, when we get the bomb down, we want to play passive angles. We want the CT to be at the disadvantage, peeking into the massive choke point. We don't want to be giving them an easy fight when we peek into them. But other than that, 8-11, which is not fantastic stats, obviously, but you didn't see too much action on CT side. And on T side, you did your job, you were entering, and if you iron out those problems that I noticed, yeah, it was fine. I'm now going to show you Dust 2 long and give you some help on how to play long with more consistency and more effectiveness, hopefully. And I think this will be the most useful part in the video for you, because it felt like, especially at low level, people don't really know what they're doing on long. So I'll keep it very simple as well, very basic stuff. Oh, I need a smoke, excuse me. So, when taking long, the general, like the most important thing on playing on A site on Dust 2 is we want to make sure that we're not anywhere so low. So if your teammate's going long, you can go long. If your teammate's going short, you should go short. You should always go with your teammate. Now you can actually take long as a free, but 2 is fine. It's probably all you're going to get at lower level. So again, just reaffirming that point. If your teammate goes long, go with them long. If your teammate goes short, go with them short. And if they're available to communicate, like if you can talk to them and they're listening to you, saying, hey, come along with me, or hey, let's go short this round is important. So that's the first point. The second point is to remember that you don't need both long and short. It's okay to play 2 on short and give the T's long and play a retake on A. And it's okay to give the T short and play 2 long. A is an easier site to retake than B, so that's always an option. If you're coming long as a 2 and you're always getting eviscerated on long, just stop going long, give the T's long, play a retake setup and do something different. For playing long, the first person, ideally with the best spawn, needs to have as best timing as they can possibly get to run to this angle and be ready to take this fight, okay? So the first person needs to be taking this fight with as fast timing as possible. That's really important because if you have bad timing, what can happen is the T, instead of having this angle where it's like a narrow choke point, right? The T can already be out, and then all of a sudden, as you peak this angle, not only are you having to worry about this angle, but you're having to worry about all these possible angles that the T could be out. So timing is really important on long. If you don't have timing, it can actually be advisable not to even take long. So first person with timing has to get to long. You should ideally have a second person with you. Once you've taken this fight, if you don't see anyone, you can cross to pit. And playing pit is a very secure position. This is a really good position. It lets your CTs on a site know they don't have to worry about long anymore. And if you get pushed out here, you can actually play more passively and get some help from your site guy. Okay, so that's another point. So that's how to take long. If you're not taking long, the more passive angles that we saw, you play, for example, you play car, these are not as good as actually having long control. They're not terrible, but they're not ideal. So this angle is very much a one and done angle, meaning you'll probably get one kill, but then you'll get traded. So playing an angle like this can be good if you have like a low buy. If you have like an SMG or a 5.7, you're playing like a mid-range, can be pretty good. You can also even hide car, and probably at low levels they won't even check you. At higher levels this gets mollied, but lower levels you can actually hide here, wait for the T's to cross and then shoot through. Just as another top tip, if you're a T, you can actually spam the windows of this car fairly easily and kill anyone hiding behind there. Okay, if you're playing on site, obviously where you're looking on site depends on what control you have. So if you have two teammates going long, you can play site as you were and be worried about short. However, instead of playing, I think you played like this angle, a better angle would be to play like these boxes, because it's also a headshot angle, but it also means that you can easily take cover. Whereas an angle like this, yes, it's a headshot angle, however, where's your cover? You know, you can't go anywhere. So this is a better angle to be holding short from site, okay? If you're taking short control, you can climb up these boxes with a teammate as a 2, and then you can pick an angle. This is like a pretty good off angle at lower ranks, but a safer angle is to play on this corner, because again, if you take a fight and it's not going your way, or there's like 4 people and it's a heavy rush, you can easily drop down and rotate and play a different one, okay? So there's some better positions for you on Dust 2. Finally, I will show you some support utility that you can use to assist your player as they take long. So this would look a little bit like this. So if you had a teammate here, or maybe with the best spawn that is, but maybe some not the best spawn. If you want to help your teammate take long, what you can do is you can come into this corner, get stuck in this corner, throw this smoke grenade by looking at this like steel roofing thing. It's just a jump throw like this. And then you come to this corner and you throw these flashes. One over the pharmacy sign like that, and the other aim at this garage knob here and do a jump throw like this. And what this will do is the smoke will isolate anyone that is actually able to get out if they have the best spawn, and then the flash will completely blind them. And then your teammate who's peeking long first, who you're flashing for, could peek and get an easy kill. Okay, so hopefully that helps. Some stuff on Dust 2.